Well, he's not campaigning against drinking now. He went to the Slammer for it and was just released. What advice would you give to Justin Timberlake on how to handle this? And what do you think about some who are saying it was a mistake and are excusing away this crime? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. DWI is a crime. It's a crime in the state of New York. In fact, at the New York DMV, it says, quote, driving while intoxicated is a crime. And it is a misdemeanor, but it's still a crime in Texas. I don't know if it's a felony or not, but it's still a crime in New York. A misdemeanor is still a crime. So it's a crime. It's not a ticketing driver offense where you just get ticketed like you're speeding. Reckless driving is a crime, to me at least. DWI is, in fact, a crime as well. So you can go up to, I can't remember, it was 3 months, 6 months in Texas for that first DWI offense. Up to 180 days in jail, I think it said. So, which is 6 months. So it is a crime. And here's Gayle King to say, oh, no, he's a friend of mine. And, we're privileged because we're, rich people and celebrities. So no. When he does it, it's a mistake.
That's probably the first time we'll hear him in public say anything.
But Justin Timberlake is a really, really great guy. Listen, this is clearly a mistake. I bet nobody knows it more than he.
A stupid
mistake. Exactly. And he knows that. But he's not an irresponsible person. He's not reckless. He's not careless.
Yeah. This was a mistake. It was an irresponsible mistake. It's a mistake. It's a stupid mistake. It's a mistake. Do you look at this as a mistake? I sure as heck don't. There's a guy, our number is 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227, and apparently his lawyer says, there's more to this story. And he's still sticking to this, I had one drink thing, to which people are putting memes out showing a martini, because he said he only had one martini. They have a meme where it's a martini the size of Justin Timberlake. That's the martini he had, a 20-gallon martini in a glass that's the size of his actual body. You know what I'm saying? Here's his martini. It's like the size of a car. Yes, that would be accurate. I had one all-you-can-drink martini. I paid for all-you-can-drink martini one time. Yes. Okay, I would just tell him, be honest, tell the truth. You messed up, and you apologize for what you did. What would you tell him? What advice would you give to Justin Timberlake on how to handle this? And what do you think about some who are saying this was a mistake and are excusing away this crime? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. What did this Grace to say was a mistake? Oh, he's one of us. He's one of our friends. No, he's great. I love him. He's politically on board with us. He's wealthy. He's famous. No, it was an honest mistake.
That's probably the first time we'll hear him in public say anything.
But Justin Timberlake is a really, really great guy. Listen, this is clearly a mistake. I bet nobody knows it more than he. A stupid
mistake.
Exactly.
Does nobody on that idiot panel of people have the audacity to tell the truth? I would say it's not a mistake. DWI is a crime. Do you know what happened here the other day? This is in the paper today. In DFW. By the way, lines were open for you. Chime in right now. What advice would you give Justin Timberlake on how to handle this? And what do you think about some who are saying this was a mistake and are excusing away this crime? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227, 800-288-9227. Look at this. In the Dallas Morning News today, allegedly drunken driver in fatal Dallas crash had severed body part in car. It was a mistake. It was a stupid mistake. It was a mistake. Driving around, you are accused of murdering somebody by plowing them over, and a body part from that dead person's body is in your car. Juan Carlos Morgan Munoz, 31, arrested Saturday morning. Police said around 10 a.m. About 20 minutes before Justin Timberlake got busted. Interesting. This is happening all over the country, all the time, all over the world. Right? How hard is it to do an Uber? I mean, I don't like it. I don't like using them. I don't like anything about them. I don't like the way the word Uber sounds. I think it's bizarre. But Juan Carlos Munoz arrested early Saturday morning. Police called around 12:10 a.m. And determined a motorist identified as Morgan Munoz in the affidavit had hit and killed a pedestrian around 30 minutes earlier. He, in the affidavit, he believed to have been traveling north in the 1800 block, blah, 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 driving without stopping to render aid. Anyways, they found a body part in the car. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Okay. No. Absolutely not. Okay, so then you have this. Apparently, he has some serious problem with substance abuse and the bottle, and I would not be going after him if he wasn't just being honest and owning it. That's it. By the way, do you know who was at the same spot when he got this DWI, apparently? Billy Joel, who himself has been addled with drug and alcohol addiction type things, and I wish nothing bad to him. I'm not picking on the guy. But apparently Billy Joel was spotted at the site of Justin Timberlake's arrest in an odd coincidence. What is this? What's next? A UFO lands in the background? There's an alien coming out? What's that, producer Garrett? Yeah, I mean, so Billy Joel spotted at the site of Justin Timberlake's arrest in an odd coincidence, the same spot where he was boozed up before his own crash 20 years ago. The picture of him is there. He's got a little weight on him, but he's older, right? And he's Billy Joel, so he can pretty much do whatever he wants as long as he's not drinking and driving and hurting anybody. But he's on a Vespa, a very nice Vespa. I'm jealous. And he was spotted having lunch right there with Justin and also enjoyed dinner with friends ahead of his DWI arrest. Do you think Billy Joel has something to do with it? Chime in right now. 800-288-W. All right. Coming up next on the Chris Crock Show, we have, so much more. Did you hear about Louisiana? Every time I see L.A., I'm thinking of Los Angeles. Louisiana is now posting the 10 Commandments in every single classroom in public schools. Do you support that? Do you support putting up the 10 Commandments in classrooms? And would you like Texas to pass this? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I will be sharing my thoughts with you on that coming up next. And in fact, you know what I did? I went to my source to get the 10 Commandments direct. And I will read to you what they say from my source, not from, some other interpretation of what the Ten Commandments say exactly. And then we'll see if you think it's bad to have that up. Okay, that's next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Okay, this is a really big deal. Look at this. Louisiana, as of right now, today, has become the first state to require the 10 Commandments be displayed in every public school classroom under a bill signed into law by the Republican Governor Jeff Landry today. And this is amazing. Watch this. It mandates that a poster-sized display of the 10 Commandments in large, easily readable font be required in all public classrooms from kindergarten to state-funded universities. Good. You know why? Because when you see that, it's pretty convicting. You know what I'm saying? When you see what your Creator, what God is telling you to do, if you want to please Him and obey Him, it's pretty convicting, isn't it? It's kind of hard to be crazy. Unless there's people that are so far gone in this that can't relate to it, and I understand that too. But I don't think there's anything offensive. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's great. I would totally support this 110%. Although it didn't receive final approval from the governor, the time for the governor's action to sign or veto it has lapsed. So that means it's in. But lawsuits likely to follow. Blah blah blah. I think this is a great, great, great idea. And I'm going to read you the 10 Commandments because I think it's very relevant in this in a sec. But do you support putting up 10 Commandments in classrooms? And would you like Texas to pass this same bill? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Fred and Addison, before I read the 10 Commandments, you're on 820 AM and down 93.3 FM WBAP. Hey, Fred.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, sir.
Chris. I'm for not only I praise Louisiana for doing what they did. What a bold move. And yes, we want it in Texas, and yes, we want it throughout the United States, period. Let's, give our children some guidelines, something to ingrain in their brain from a moral standpoint early in life. And so I think it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
I totally agree. Go ahead, sorry.
Everybody who put that on the ballot or whatever over there, that's a bold move, and I love them for that. And I hope it spreads throughout the country.
I would be surprised if Texas does not have this on its docket to pass within, the next 6 to 8 months or a year. Some legislators saying,
I agree.
Or within a week or two, some legislators saying this is going to be a top priority. For example, I would not be surprised if the Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who's the head of the Senate, the most powerful politician of the state, even more powerful than the governor, truthfully, is going to put this on the docket. So I appreciate your call, Fred, and I couldn't agree with you more.
Thanks. Have a great evening.
Thank you, you too. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Do you support putting up the 10 Commandments in classrooms? And would you like Texas to pass this bill that Louisiana just passed today in every single classroom, kindergarten all the way through to the public universities? That's amazing. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Maybe if some crazed nutbag that's going to shoot up the school would see that, maybe they'd change their mind. Some kid who's lost, whose parents are not raising them properly or loving them the way they should, might see that and go, you know what? What is this about? I've never seen that before. It's the opposite of what I've seen in my life. What is this about? I'm going to pursue it. I think it makes a huge difference. Let me read to you, of course, the 10 Commandments. This is very important to share with you because this is what's being put in posters in large print in every classroom, kindergarten through public universities at Louisiana, officially as of today. First commandment, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt. Well, actually, that's not the first commandment. The first commandment is you shall have no other gods before me. You shall have no other gods before me. Okay. Next, you shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above or on earth beneath in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I am the Lord your God. I'm a jealous God, punishing children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations to those who love me and keep my commandments. So basically, there's no other idols. I don't worship anything else but me. Let's go to Todd in Flower Mound. Todd, you're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM WBAP. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good. I'm for it. I think obviously the 10 Commandments, whether any of the Abrahamic religions, the three biggies, they're all for it. So you probably won't get as much resistance if they were dialed into one of the more specific. Islam, Judaism, or Christianity, because those are the foundation of all of them. Obviously, I'm not telling you something you don't know, but I'm all for it. I just, what about the separation of church state kind of thing? I'm worried about that.
Well, this is not for a specific religion. It's not promoting. This is in the Judaism too. This is in the Torah. I mean, Old Testament is the Torah. I'm sure there's some things that vary, but this is going to be in the Torah, is my understanding. So you now have two faiths, and Islam is less population in this country than Judaism, but it's only behind it by a slight amount as far as population numbers. But it's not about that; it's about the minority as well, right, in our country. Right. But Islam respects prophets and stuff like that. They don't believe Jesus was a savior, but they believe he's a prophet. So they might object to it, but I don't know. But you're going to find these people that are leftists hostile to faith in general.
Oh, they're hostile to anything that makes any kind of sense that's going to be helpful to humankind. But
right.
I'm opinionated on that topic, but
right.
I'm all for it. That's my topic. I've got 3 teenagers and one just graduated, but I got 2 teenagers in public schools, and with the social media hostile takeover of their mind control, we need some old school stuff like the 10 Commandments. And I'm all for it.
I think my kids would look up at it from time to time and remember how we raised them and what we've taught them. I appreciate your call, Todd. Richard and Denton, you're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM WBAP.
Good evening, Chris. Richard Hayes here. I'm a state representative from Denton County, and I'll be filing the bill.
Well, that didn't take too long.
No, sir. I read the bill this morning while I was in Austin. I'm working in my office, and it's a very simple bill, but it's a very important bill.
Yes. And is there anything you saw that you go, I'm going to tweak it a little bit, or is it pretty much exactly the way you want to do it, what you saw in Louisiana? And again, your state representative, Richard Hayes from Denton, is it you said?
Yeah, Denton County.
Denton County, okay. So is there anything in the Louisiana law that you thought was, or the bill that was passed that was a little bit off, or is it all pretty much going to be 100% from your liking?
I think it could be 100%. What I thought they did interesting was the bill specifically provides that the school districts or the universities are not mandated to spend state funds to display the 10 Commandments in each room.
Let me pause you. I want you to finish off, and I don't want to rush you. Can you stand by, Richard?
Sure.
Okay, good. Well, there you go. It's pretty fascinating. We already have a state rep who's pitching the bill. That's pretty amazing. We'll hear the rest of it from State Rep Richard Hayes in Denton County coming up next. Your call as well. I'm going to read you the 10 Commandments when we come back. And do you support putting up the 10 Commandments in classrooms like Louisiana just passed today? And would you like Texas to pass this? It's already being proposed by a state rep who just called in. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Okay, 10 Commandments being posted in every single public school for kindergarten all the way through high school, including all the way into all university classes at public universities in Louisiana, effective immediately. Just signed into law today, and they're the first state to require that. Now, the questions I have for you are, do you support putting up 10 Commandments in classrooms, and would you like to see Texas pass this? We sure would. And I'll be sharing all the 10 Commandments in just a sec, but I wanted to finish off. We have a state representative named Richard Hayes who just called in from Denton County, and he is going to be proposing this bill. He likes the Louisiana bill, and let's finish off where we're going with this. Thanks for holding, Representative Hayes. Go ahead and tell me what you were saying about what you like about the bill. Are you going to use pretty much the exact verbatim kind of word for word of the bill, or is there something in it you wanted to expand upon, or is this going to be it?
I think the bill, as written, is excellent. It has two main things that stuck out in my mind. One, the school districts or universities would not be mandated to spend state funds for posting the 10 Commandments. That gives them the option to. It doesn't mandate them to. Mm-hmm. It also allows them to accept donations to accomplish that. And the second thing that I thought was good about the bill, it not only applies to public schools, the way their statute is written is any school that receives state funds is required to do it. So now, we're looking at having school choice and the money following the child. And if state funds follow the child even into a private school, then they would also be required to post the 10 Commandments.
Wow, wait a minute. So that means to repeat that again to make sure I got this is pretty amazing then. Any private school where state funds are going to as well, whether it be to choose to go to a Jewish day school, whatever they would call it, or a Jewish private school, or to be a Christian private school, or to be any kind of a private school that receives funds from the state, that is to say, somebody gets school choice and takes their voucher to go there, we'll have to also have it up.
Correct. That's the way the Louisiana bill is written. So
nice.
I thought it was well thought out and is a good model for Texas. So
last question, I believe, is where are we on the school choice thing? I know Governor Abbott has thrown out the people that were against school choice, which I'm glad he did, and we now have the numbers, but that won't be happening until the next session. Is that right?
That's correct. That is, we'll reconvene in January of 2025. In Texas, our legislature meets every other year, meets in odd years.
Right.
And in theory, it's 140 days, but last year was about 256 with the 4 special sessions.
Yes. Okay, so that's why it's so close together then. So in about 6 months, it'll be right on the docket again. You'll be pitching that one out there. And then also school choice will be done, which is very, very good. Speaking of school choice, I don't know if you caught Condi Rice today, what she said about it. It's incredible.
I did not.
Let me play that for you. It's really incredible now that we kind of you brought it up kind of organically here. Here we go.
So are you for school choice or not? We already have a choice system in education. If you are of means, you will move to a district where the schools are good and the houses are expensive, like Palo Alto, California. If you go across the street from Stanford, Palo Alto High has a performance arts center that looks like a smaller version of Stanford's. If you're really wealthy, you will send your kids to private schools. So who's stuck in failing neighborhood schools? Poor kids. A lot of them minority kids. So how can you say you're for civil rights? How can you say you're for the poor when you're condemning those children to not being able to read? By the time they're in 3rd grade, they're never going to read. So if you want to say that school choice and vouchers and charter schools are destroying the public schools, fine. You write that editorial in the Washington Post, but then don't send your kids to Sidwell Friends.
There we go. That's the place where former President Hussein Obama sent his kids, the private school, wealthy people go in D.C., Sidwell Friends, I guess. So there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I appreciate your call tonight, State Representative Richard Hayes from Denton County. Thank you very much. I looked you up. I see you over there smiling in your picture online, sir. All right. Thanks for your.
Thank you. I'm a fan, Chris, and listen every time I'm driving back and forth to Austin.
That means everything to me, and I appreciate you. What's your regular occupation outside of being a state representative?
Yeah, my real world job is I'm an attorney, and then my volunteer job is being a state representative.
Nice. What kind of law do you practice?
I'm board certified in real estate, commercial and residential real estate, mainly do eminent domain, title issues, boundary disputes, real estate partners, fussing with real estate partners, and then general business litigation.
There we go. Thank you very much, Representative Hayes. I appreciate you calling in tonight, and thanks for your fandom, sir. Appreciate that.
You got it.
All right, take care. There he goes. That's very cool. You know, but what do you think about the 10 Commandments? The display literally is now going to be in every public school classroom throughout the state of Louisiana and in public college, public universities. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. We already have a Texas representative right there who's going to be introducing that bill in 6 months. Yay! I love it. I'm a fan. I like it very much. Where are we? There we go.
Oh, Hercules.
Okay, here are the top 10 commandments. Not top 10 commandments. What's wrong with me? Here are the 10 commandments. You shall have no other gods before me. Okay? You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven, above, or on earth, beneath, or in the waters below. And the more succinct way would be to say, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Basically, anything you worship more than God is a graven image. Okay. Number 3, you shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. That also means don't take the name of the Lord in vain, which I totally agree with. Very offensive to me. I mean, I don't say. You look, if I'm having a casual conversation and somebody says it, I'm not going to correct them or be a jerk about it. I don't do that, but it's kind of a little tough on the ears when I hear people do it. I don't appreciate it. Number 4, the 4th commandment of the 10, remember the Sabbath by keeping it holy. And I think that's fantastic as well. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. And then the next one, the 5th of the 10 commandments, honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord God is giving you. So if you honor your parents, you will live a long life. That's a promise. Number 6, and I take that one seriously. Even if your parents are jerks or whatever, you do need to honor them as long as it's not something that is against the law or your faith. After that, thou shalt not murder. You shall not murder. It is not thou shalt not kill. This is a common misnomer, and I want to thank my pastor, Dr. Robert Jeffers, for teaching us this one. It is thou shalt not murder. What does that mean? That means that when the government takes a life from somebody because of a death penalty, that is absolutely okay. In fact, Paul in Romans 13 talks about that. God gave the government a sword for a reason. If you disobey the government, you should fear the government, he says. If you obey the government, you have nothing to fear. But God gave them the sword for a reason. There's to execute people if it's lawfully determined they should be executed. So it's thou shalt not murder, not thou shalt not kill. Number 7, you shall not commit adultery. Who is against that one? Show yourself. Who is against that one? Burn him. He's a witch. That's a joke. Number 8, you shall not steal. Okay, what's wrong with that commandment? You shall not steal. All right, if you're against that one, then maybe someone's going to steal from you. We'll see if you like it. Aha! But see, look at that. I'm preaching. Number 9, you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. Why is that bad? Why would it be bad to lie about something your neighbor did? That's also phrased as you shall not bear false witness against thy neighbor, if you will. And the last one is you shall not covet your neighbor's house, your neighbor's wife, his male or female servant, his ox, donkey, or his car. I'll make that one, or his house, right? I throw those modern day ones in, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Don't covet it. This is something I'm going to tell you right now, we all get caught in that trap. I want what my neighbor has. I want what my friend has. Why does he have that and I don't have that? It's a trap. As the great Admiral Akbar, I'm going to mix movies with spirituality here. Okay, it's a trap. That's what it is. You look at that, you focus on that, you're going down the wrong path. Never tell God what he's given you is not enough. All right, that is it. Okay, so I hope it passes. Now, next on the Chris Crock Show, as promised, 9:45, California says, what? They want to stop our trucks from going there that aren't EV trucks. That's a disgrace. It's a joke. We've gone over that. I'll share that with you again. But listen, here's the big one. Now they're going after trains. Yes, the state of California wants electric trains. I am not making this up. Electric trains! Who's on board? Who's getting on board that train? Not me. That's next. These people are nuts. They are nuts. A column in the Wall Street Journal today. California says don't keep on trucking. All right, now, what's crazy is they're trying to get these, we've talked about this, trucks on the nation's highways that go into California. Like you can't have a semi-truck that's not an EV by a certain year. And it's a disgrace and it's a joke. The batteries are so heavy that the EV is pulling, the EV semi is pulling, can't even pull like half the load or something of that nature because it's too heavy. The batteries are so heavy, it's like half the cargo can be carried. So number one, the cargo is somewhere around half of the weight of normal cargo. So you literally are cutting in half how much you can haul. And number two, the batteries are insanely heavy, as I mentioned. So the roads are going to be destroyed by these massive heavy batteries. Like, for example, the passenger EVs right now are insanely heavier. I think they're 3 to 5 times heavier than our cars. And they're destroying the roads compared to ours, and they're not paying any taxes. That's got to be changed. They need to be paying taxes on our roads too. And then, by the way, when these EVs hit you on the highway and on the roads, they are so much safer than you, and you are so much more likely to die because you're being hit by something that's 3 to 5 times or something of that nature heavier than you are. You know what I'm saying? So now, and guess what else too? There was Joliet is a south suburb of Chicago. If you recall, the Blues Brothers got out of jail there, and half pack of cigarettes, half tank of gas, blah, blah, blah. Sunglasses, it's light and it's light, dark out and we're wearing sunglasses, right? City of Joliet or somewhere in that area in suburban Chicago, the city literally said you cannot, there was some truck hauling company that said we want EV trucks. The city said you cannot do this. You will be drawing more power than the city itself does by having like whatever it was, 10 or 20 trucks being charging EVs every day, like semi-truck. This is a complete and utter disgrace, joke. We're destroying ourselves for a cult. A cult. That's what this is. It's a religion. It's a cult. It's a cheap fake. Now they want to do this to our trains. Here's some highlights from the editorial. By the way, our question is for you to chime in on right now. What are you on board with that's green? And what are you not liking that's green? Are you on board with EVs, getting one for yourself? Are you on board with, holy crap, did you hear about the Biden administration is now trying to have our warriors fight in electric vehicle tanks, EV tanks? I repeat, tanks that are EVs. What do you think happens to a tank that runs out of battery? It'll be left behind. The enemy will scoop it up, take it, and get all the technology out of it, and leave the stupid thing there and make a diesel one. These people are freaking nuts. Okay. The issue at hand. Our number, by the way, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. 9227. What are you on board with that's green, and what are you not liking that's green? Okay. How about this? You like these trains? Now they're moving to banish diesel locomotives across all 50 states, says the Journal today. California Air Resource Board, CARB, their plan would ban locomotives that are 23 years or older from running in the state after 2029. Of course, the EPA has to approve that, which they will if it's Joe Biden. Passenger trains would also have to operate in a zero-emission configuration, passenger trains, by 2030 and long-distance freight trains by 2035. President of the American Short Line Railroad, Regional Railroad Association warned it's going to harm their members, most of which are small businesses. People that depend on short line rail, the businesses will move out of California or just vanish. It'll bar 2/3 of the nation's locomotive fleet from entering California. 2/3 of every locomotive. Remember how many ports are there? Long Beach, I guess, is one of the most massive ports we have in the country. It'll all move to Texas then. You know, that's what's going to happen. Regulation would bar 2/3 of the nation's locomotives from entering California, since locomotives can't be swapped at the state border. You can't swap out a locomotive. Zero-emission locomotives will require batteries 6 to 10 times bigger than any battery now available commercially. And smaller battery locomotives have been prone to fires and explosions. There you go. There you go. You're not supposed to burn the cargo or blow it up. You're supposed to carry it. Thank you. These are not Tesla EVs moving a few bags of groceries around the neighborhood, said this American Short Line Regional Railroad Association, spokesperson. Locomotives must be able to haul thousands of tons of stone, grain, chemicals, and other heavy goods and commodities in demanding weather conditions. Through high heat, through California's Sierra Nevada mountains in the depths of the winter for hours on end. The EVs lose like around 40 to 60% of their charge in extreme hot weather and extreme cold weather. This is you're going to see half of the world's, half of the country's trains grind to a halt and be stuck in crazy places off of this garbage. What a lie. These people they're trying to destroy us. Russia is not doing this. China is not doing this. China is putting online one new coal-fired power plant a week. They're putting on new coal-fired power plants every week, a new one. And what are we doing? We're shutting them all down. That's what happened in Texas. And we're bastardizing the grid by funding windmills and solar panels, which I'm against those too, because they have replaced 33% of the base load power in our state. And that's why we're being told in August we might have power rolling outages in August. That and the population boom in this state. What a freaking joke this is. This is embarrassing. This is horrifying. And we're trying to destroy our country, in front of our eyes with this crap. It would also make railroads contribute to a quasi-escrow fund to pay for electric. Listen to this. They're going to make all the current railroad companies pay for this with a quasi-escrow fund. It'll cost $800 million a year to pay for these stupid EV trains that are not going to work. That's more than 20% of their capital spending for the railroad. I mean, they're literally just here. Hey, give us more than 20% of you spending every year for something you don't need and you don't want. In addition to that, this is a complete joke. Oh gosh, there's an Illinois Democrat representative said something that's very interesting. Actually, that is a bad effect. That's interesting. Okay, that's coming up next. Plus, I want to get into this. Crazed woman, you got to hear this. A crazed woman in line at a Raising Cane's yelling and threatening after she cut in line. You're going to hear about this. We're going to talk about what kind of crazy incidents you've had with people cutting in line or road rage parking lot incidents coming up next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.